everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the all-new Tempestus Aquilons. Yes, I love these. I think they're absolutely fantastic new miniatures from Games Workshop and the Hivestorm Kill Team box set that they very kindly sent me early to build up and paint with all of you, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. So, we are going to be painting them up. Not in the box art, no. We're going to be painting them up in a kind of Harakoni Warhawks style. So we've done a little bit of this before, so this shouldn't be too much of a surprise to you guys if you've seen that video, but they're updated, much cooler models than the Cadian Shock Troops. So we're going to be painting these up in that style. And, well, they've all been primed in grey Seer. Now, the one we're going to be focusing on is the Sergeant, who does have a name. I can't remember what it is. A specific unit name or specialist name, but we're just going to be focusing on this one for now. And the colour we're going to be using first is Black Legion, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the clothes of our Aquilons as well as the boots. So we'll actually start just here on this boot, and well, we're going to apply this just like this over the top of the boot rather than the kind of leather over bit. Just like that. So with all of that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown, and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the leather. So with that all done, our next colour is going to be some Aggaros Dunes, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the armour across all the Aquilons, including the little auto sentry as well. I should also point out at this point with the Aggaros Dunes, because I will forget, we're going to apply this over the top of the casings of any guns as well. With all that Aggaros Dunes applied, we're then going to take some Flesh Tearers Red, and we're going to apply this over top of any cabling. So the ones with helmets generally tend to have one on their helmet, on the kind of face grill, but they also have the occasional one here and there on a weapon, for example. So we're just going to apply it over the top of that. We're also going to apply this over the top of the grips of any weapons, where you can see some bound leather, such as that one there on the power sword. And we're also going to apply this Flesh Tearers Red over the top of the beret. like that. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Castellax Bronze, and we're going to use this to pick out all of the trim and things like the decorative details on the sword. Just like that sort of thing. However, one other thing to point out here is that on the back here, we're going to be applying this over the top of the sort of canister looking thing. Just here. Like that. And over the top of the kind of power pack. Like that. And another thing we're going to point out is on our little handy dandy drone, we're going to apply this over top of the canister in the back here as well. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over top of, well, all of our remaining details, excluding the face. And actually, there is a skull on the servo turret as well. We're not going to apply it over the top of that either. So with all that Iron Warriors applied, it's now time to add some shades and to colour in our last base coats. So the first of these shades is going to be some Guilliman Flesh, and we're going to be using this, of course, over the top of the face of our sergeant. Like so. But what we're also going to do with the Guilliman Flesh is we're going to use this over the top of the Flesh Terror's Red, the Aggaros Dunes, and the Castellax Bronze. And so with all that Guilliman Flesh applied, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil. And we're going to apply this over top of all the silver, as well as the hard black details. So this is going to be things like the kind of turbines on the backpack, as well as any bits that you've also painted black on some guns, for example, if you have done. But what we're going to also do here with the black is we're going to apply this as black. This is Nuln Oil. We're going to apply the Nuln Oil over top of the skull on the face of the servo turret. But don't worry about painting Nuln Oil over the top of the trousers and things like that. We're not going to do those. So with those shades applied, our Tempestus Aquilons are now at what I would call a Warhipster battle ready and looking pretty cool. However, we are not going to leave them there. We are going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Zandri Dust. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm going to do it because I really like the kind of sandy tone that it has. And we're going to take this thinned down Zandri Dust, and we're going to use this to relayer now all of the armor. However, we are not going to be using this to relayer the guns. This is how we're going to create two different kind of sandy tones. On the same models. So we're just looking to apply this over top of all of the flat areas and avoid all of the recesses where our Guilliman Flesh is really settled. Just like this sort of thing. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Ushabti Bone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our sandy details, including the weapons. So with all that Ushabti Bone applied, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the black details. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Gorthor Brown, and we're going to use this to highlight all of our brown leather. So with all that Gorthor Brown applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass, and we're going to use this to highlight all the Castellax Bronze bits. And so with all that Runelord Brass applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver details. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight the face of our sergeant. With that Flayed One Flesh applied, we're then going to take a tiny amount of Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over the top of the eyeballs. And so with that Black Legion all applied, we're then going to take a tiny little dot of Screaming Skull and apply this in the corners of the eyeballs. So with that face now done, we're going to take some thinned down Evil Sun Scarlet, and we're going to use this to highlight the beret. So with that all done on our champion, what we're going to do now is we're going to take two colours, Talassar Blue and Ork Flesh. We're going to be applying this over the top of kind of things like the eye lenses and the computer screen on their arm and stuff like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take Talassar Blue and we're going to apply this over the top of well, the eye lenses. And any kind of little targeters. We've got one up here as well, like so. And we're also going to apply this over the top of the scope lens. On the sniper rifle. However, the other colour, as mentioned, is Ork Flesh. And we're going to be applying this over the top of things like this little screen down here. Like that. And so with that done, we've got just one last thing left to do, which is to add some little unit markings to our Aquilons. So the colour we're going to be using for this is Mephiston Red, and we're going to be doing a V on the left knee and on the right shoulder. So we're going to take the Mephiston Red and we're going to start down here on the knee. Basically what you want to do is there's a rivet here, and we'll go starting next to it, drawing a line down like so. And then we just want to widen that line out just a little bit. Like that. Similarly, on the other side, again, starting just under the rivet, we then want to complete the V just like that. Similarly, on the shoulder, there is a couple of rivets, as you can see here, that also act as a guide. So we're going to start by drawing our V so that it comes on the inside of that rivet. So down here, like that. And then the same thing on the other side. Like so. And so with the bases now complete, our Tempestus Aquilons in the colours of vaguely Harakoni Warhawks are now finished. I really like them. I think the sprue was fantastic, first of all, and I really love this new unit. I can't wait to see if we're going to get more for the Tempestus, because this is awesome. They're just new models, and I like new models. You guys know how I like new ones. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/Warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.